please hit that subscribe button.
Hey everybody.
Better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so we are back for another episode of Hit or Miss, where I look at NHL teams' first round draft picks from 2005 through 2015 and determine if each pick was a hit or a miss. Today we're going to be doing the Calgary Flames. Now before we start, I just quickly want to remind everyone to please subscribe if you are new and hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, as both of those things really help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. So in the first episode of this series we did Edmonton. Now I'm going to do Calgary, and basically what I've decided, I'm going to do it by division. So we're going to do the Pacific Division first, the Central Division next, then the Atlantic Division, and then the Metro Division finally. No particular order within the divisions, just whichever teams I end up doing, but I'm going to do it by division to make sure I get all the teams. So Calgary is up today, and let's get started with it, starting with their 2005 first-round pick, 26 overall. They selected Matt Pelech, who originally was a defenseman, has also played a little wing. Either way, went on to play 13 NHL games, scoring 1 goal, 3 assists, and 4 points and a +2 rating. Spent most of his career in the AHL, now plays over in the United Kingdom, and this one is a miss. Matt Pelech only played 13 games, was never a real regular in anyone's NHL lineup, had a very short NHL career. Good AHL player, but when you're drafting in the first round, you're not drafting for your AHL team, you're drafting for an NHL team, and Matt Pelech was never an impact player in the NHL. Moving on now to 2006. Once again in 06, they drafted 26 overall, and with this selection, they picked goaltender Leland Irving. Now you're probably asking, who the hell is Leland Irving? And that's because this pick was also a miss. He played 13 career games in the NHL, put up a record of 3-4-4 with a .902 save percentage and a 3.25 goals against average. Yikes. Irving never really had any success at the NHL level. Never really made it at the NHL level full-time ever. Got a few games in, but not very many, and he was definitely a miss as a first-round draft pick. Moving on now to 2007. They are selecting 24th overall in 2007, and with that pick, they select center Michael Backlund. Now, Michael Backlund has played 690 NHL games, scoring 145 goals, 220 assists for 365 points and a +33 rating. This pick was a huge hit, as Michael Backlund is still on the Calgary Flames to this day as their second-line center and has been a Calgary Flame for his entire career so far. He's a really important top 6 player for them. He's been a good middle-of-the-lineup guy, and he's had a really successful career with the Flames so far. This pick, absolutely a hit. He's turned out really well for a late first-round draft pick. Now in 2008, they had the 25th overall pick, and with that pick, they selected center Greg Nemeth, which, if you're probably asking who that is, I'm not even sure if I said his name correctly. I've never heard of him until doing the research for this video. He did play 15 NHL games, but did not score a goal, only had 1 assist for 1 point and an even rating. Another guy who never really made it at the NHL level. He did get a few games in, but overall not really, and this is another miss here for Calgary, as he did not amount to anything at the NHL level. Now we move on to 2009, where they were selecting 23rd overall. And with that 23rd overall pick, they selected defenseman Tim Eriksson. Now, Tim Eriksson played 93 career games in the NHL, scoring 2 goals, 12 assists for 14 points and a -3 rating. But I'm still calling this one a miss, as, again, he never became a full-time NHLer, never really had a full NHL career, under 100 games played, could never really stick. For a long time, he was considered a pretty good defensive prospect, just could never really stick at the NHL level, and spent a lot more time down in the minors than he did up in the NHL. So Once again, another miss here for Calgary with their 23rd pick in 2009, as Tim Erickson never really fulfilled his potential. They did not have a first-round draft pick in 2010, so nothing there. We're moving right on to 2011 now, where they drafted 13th overall. And with that 13th overall pick in 2011, they selected left wing Sven Barchi. Sven Barchi has gone on to play in the NHL, but more as a depth player than anything else, playing 291 games, 66 goals, 72 assists for 138 points and a -33 rating. Barchi has had an NHL career, has been a good depth player in the NHL, but never really became the guy that they thought they were getting with a top 15 draft pick. I am also going to be calling this one a miss because Barchi, when you're drafting in the top 15, listen, if Barchi was drafted, 30th overall or something like that, late 20s, then that'd be okay. At least he's had an NHL career and he's been an NHL player. But when you're drafting in the top 15, you are looking for somebody who's going to have a regular impact in a regular spot in your lineup. And Sven Barchi, only 66 goals, only 138 points, more of a third, fourth line type guy. At 13th overall, you're looking for a little bit more than that. And Barchi just never became that. He's with Vancouver now. Actually didn't play that long at all with the Flames. But I'm going to go and call this one a miss. It's borderline. It's on the line, but I'm going to say miss with Sven Barchi there. They could have done better with that pick. Moving on now to 2012, they selected 21st overall, and with that pick, they selected center Mark Jankowski. Now, Mark Jankowski has played 208 games with the Calgary Flames and in the NHL, scoring 36 goals, 28 assists for 64 points and a -13 rating. He's been up with the Flames the last couple of years, and I'm going to go ahead and call this one a hit because it was a late first-round pick. After, 20th or later, I'm counting as a late first-round pick. And when you're picking at that point in the draft, you just want an NHL player. And Mark Jankowski has become an NHL regular for the Calgary Flames. After being drafted, he went to Providence College, played 4 years of college hockey there, had a really good career at PC, and was a good player for them. Then he obviously went into the pro ranks, played in the AHL. Now he's up in the NHL, and he's still a young player, still finding his way, but he's a good depth player for Calgary. And he's become a regular in the Calgary Flames everyday lineup. So late first round pick turning into an NHL regular, Mark Jankowski is a hit in my opinion. Now we move on to 2013, and in 2013, the Calgary Flames had 3 first-round draft picks in 2013. The first being 6th overall, where they selected Sean Monahan, center, who obviously is a huge hit as he is the Flames' current #1 center, one of the best players on the team, and become a star player in this league. He's got 541 games played, scoring 194 goals, 217 assists, for 411 career points and a -25 rating. Not much else to say about Monahan. Huge hit, top line guy, really, really good player, taken at 6 overall. Their next selection that in 2013 came 22nd overall, and with that pick, they selected left wing Emile Poirier. And Poirier never really amounted to anything at the NHL level, with 8 games played, no goals, 1 assist, 1 point, and an even rating. Just never really found his footing at the NHL, never really made it, and that pick is a miss. They picked again at 28th overall in 2013, and they selected another left wing, this time Morgan Klimchuk. And Klimchuk only has 1 career NHL game with no points and an even rating. Another guy who's never really made it to the NHL, never found any footing or any lineup spot for him in the NHL. So that once again is a miss on Morgan Klimchuk. Now we move on to 2014, where the Calgary Flames were selecting 4th overall, so they get a top 5 pick here. And with that pick, they selected center Sam Bennett. And Sam Bennett has gone on to play 364 career games, only scoring 63 goals and 65 assists for 128 points and a -53 rating. I like Sam Bennett. However, he is a depth player. And when you are selecting in the top 5, you are not looking for depth players. You are looking for superstar, franchise-changing, generational players. And Sam Bennett has not been that for the Calgary Flames. So this is a miss. Again, this is nothing against Sam Bennett. I really like him as a player. I would love him on my third or fourth line. I think he's a really effective bottom six type depth guy. But he's not worth a fourth overall pick. And this one is going to have to be a miss there with Sam Bennett at number 4 overall. They could have gotten a much better impact player with that pick. And finally, 2015... the Calgary Flames did not have a first-round draft pick in 2015. They traded it to the Boston Bruins as a part of the Dougie Hamilton trade. So that does it for this video, as they did not pick in the first round that year. So there it is, guys. Hit or miss with the Calgary Flames. Obviously, we saw some hits. We saw plenty of misses as well. And that's going to do it. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.